You're there every day. You know what's best for you to do in your community. So he has said, we're leaving it up to you. Now, we don't have any coronavirus patients at this point in time, so it would make sense for us to continue to allow businesses to operate.
Right.
And so that's a decision that we've made. I met with the restaurant owners yesterday afternoon and went through our new emergency declaration and talked through that.
And what did they say? These are restaurant owners,
right,
and they're members of the San Angelo Restaurant Association.
They are.
Yeah.
I think they were thankful we weren't closing them down, so that number one. And then, of course, all of them also want to make sure that their patrons are safe. So one of the things is the distancing between tables. So, for example, Miss Hattie's, we're seating every other table, so we're not sitting people next to each other. We're double washing, cleaning all the tables. I mean, anything that we can do to up our sanitary issues, we're doing, and so is everyone else in the restaurant bar.
I noticed I ate lunch at Kenny Blannick's over there on Beauregard, and there was no salt and pepper shakers or sugar, the sugar like there normally is, and there was no silverware. So is that part of the? We
are silverware. Obviously, they believe it's more sanitary not to do that, but we polish all of our silverware, put it down. We, when someone leaves that table, we clean the salt and pepper shaker and the sweet and low. So we're cleaning those on a rotation. That's what we're trying to do to make people feel good about going out and supporting the local community by eating and dining.
All right, so yesterday you announced, you came out with the Emergency Public Health Declaration. That's what it was called. What kind of blowback did you get? I mean, did your phone just ring off the hook for various people?
No, not negatively. What people wanted to know was further explanation on it. What does that mean in terms of if you have 3,000 square feet versus 1,000 square feet, is the number of people allowed in that building the same? Well, primarily it is. But again, you can work.
So you're saying if I have if I'm Blaine's Pub and the fire marshal says I can hold 200 people, I can only put 50 in there at a time, right? But if I'm Midnight Rodeo, which they're closed down now, but if I'm Midnight Rodeo that can hold 800 people, can I put in 50 for every 200 there?
What I would say is you want to make sure that you have given the appropriate amount of room, elbow space, arm space between your patrons. So that's a key consideration.
So your 3-foot rule?
Or 6 foot, I'm going to say 6 foot.
6 foot rule.
But remember, are you really so determined to have more people in your place of business? Listen, it hasn't even been an issue for me because it's very, very slow. So counting the number of people.
And it's slow because of the coronavirus outbreak and
is.
people are staying at home.
And women, families that both people work, and now the kids are not in school, so they don't have anybody to take care of the kids. So many people are having to choose between the job and taking care of their children. So people don't have the time to go out and dine for lunch, if you will.
Right.
And so there's all kinds of complications like that. But I just say safety first, citizens first. I hate that it's going to have a negative impact on the local economy. I hate that it's going to impact people's personal lives. I hate that it's going to be some questions about paying the mortgage or the car payment or whatever else there is out there that you owe. And you know what do you do? I mean, I get it. But I also know that as mayor, I'm responsible for a tremendous amount of citizens and making sure we make the right decisions to protect the citizens as a whole. But we are not going to go out there and count the number of people in a building.
Okay.
We are not.
So Frank Carter's off the hook.
He's not off the hook, but if someone calls him and says...
By the way, Frank Carter is the chief of police for San Angelo, and he's an elected official also.
He's an elected official
How's it
also.
Is it going to be hard to get him to do anything? He's an elected official if it's not popular.
Well, it's not popular, and it is hard, but I will say the following. You know, someone is in a business and feels like they're not comfortable with the number of people that have been allowed to come in. They have the right to call code enforcement, of course. But I think you know whether you should be there or not be there and whether it's the right environment for you. People have to take personal responsibility. Businesses have to take personal responsibility for the decisions that they're making. And everyone's on their own to make those correct decisions. You know, it's this thing called free will. What is it that you need to do to run your business and to take care of your employees and to take care of your customers and to take care of the citizens that have supported us all these years and months and decades.
All right, so I'm going to have you take your official hat off, okay?
Okay.
So you're not talking in an official capacity here. I just want, I mean, you're a smart business lady with a lot of experience. I mean, you remember 2008 and the stock market crash then, and the mortgage crisis and all that. We've been through a lot of stuff here.
Correct.
What's your, well, I'll just say, one of the prognosis things I've heard from a politician down in San Angelo, or down in Del Rio, was that he thinks this thing's going to blow over in, you know, probably 3 to 6 weeks.
I hope that that's true. Our declaration that we put out there is a 7-day declaration.
Mm-hmm.
We will reevaluate it at the end of the 7 days, but we felt like it was important to quickly react. People kept calling City Hall, what are you doing? Why aren't you canceling these things? What are the decisions you're making? Why don't we know anything?
Mm-hmm.
So when we felt like we needed to act and react, we have done so. And it was a tough decision.
So this is kind of like weather closures for when, you know,
Sure.
when it's raining or it's snowing or
Tornado
sleeting,
or whatever.
and it's always Paint Rock ISD. They start it off, and once Paint Rock ISD says we're gonna delay 2 hours, then everyone else delays 2 hours.
Yes, somebody's got to be the first out of the box, as
Right.
they say. And so, but what we hope is that over this 7 days, that the number of coronaviruses that have been tested positive starts to come down.
Mm-hmm.
But it won't do that unless we self-contain,
Right.
because most people don't know when they were exposed to it. They only know 5 days out.
So
Oh
you're
my
thinking
gosh, I
three.
don't
So
feel
you're thinking 3 weeks.
I'm thinking 3 weeks at a maximum.
Really?
But that 3 weeks will be painful for people. You know,
Right.
3 weeks of, for example, in the restaurant business, 3 weeks with few tables and wait staff. Income is based off of gratuity, and if you don't have tables, you don't make money, and that happens in all the restaurants around town. So I think we're all very
Right.
concerned that we will be impacting our employees. So we as business owners have to figure out what we need to do to take care of our people. They've taken care of us for many years in business. Now what are we going to do for them to help them get over this hurdle? Not everybody will have the ability to do it at the same level, but we know those employees are valuable.
Right. And we might, I mean, if this lasts too long, we're going to lose the whole, all the experience and everything that we have.
Correct.
Hey, Mr. Producer, is there any questions coming up? Nothing at all? Well, we answered all their questions.
I hope that we are giving a sense of calm at a time of crisis, but I will say the following. Make personal decisions about what you can expose yourself to and what you're willing for your family to be exposed to. What I hope that we do is stop hoarding. I was at Sam's today, and one of the Walmart
So you're out of
stores-
toilet paper too?
I'm okay on toilet paper, but I will tell you, the meat racks were empty.
Right?
People are, and of course, people and their kids are at home now because usually the kids are in school, so everybody's needs for groceries have increased.
Right.
But I think people perhaps are overreacting to that.
You think they're buying a steak and they're freezing one for later?
Perhaps so.
I got you.
And when you don't know, I think your reality is you do overreact, and what we hope is that there's a calm that starts to take place. Enough is enough. You don't have to have 36 rolls of toilet paper, 36 rolls of paper towels, or whatever. Because people who didn't react initially are probably going to have a hard time getting the product now. And we don't want that to happen. We don't want people to go into crisis mode. So we're asking for people to be calm, to not overreact. It is serious. We're not trying to downplay the seriousness of this. It obviously is quite serious. There have been many lives lost. But if we all react and do what we've been asked to do, I think we can contain it, and that this too shall pass.
All right, since you're the first person I've talked to officially, or not officially, who would say that they see light at the end of the tunnel, what do you think the economy is going to do on the backside of this?
The economy will take a while to build back up. Of course it will, but people like good times, and they like it when the economy is good. There will be a bent up reaction. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad it's over. Let's go out, let's go out, let's go to the movie, let's go do whatever. So I think there will be a reaction to it, but it's hard to make up for what you've lost.
I see.
And it will take the stock market a while to come back. It won't come back overnight, and so you hope that people have planned their finances in a manner that they're not having to panic over cash. We know that because of the combination of the coronavirus, but also the oil and Saudi Arabia
Right.
announcing.
We have two companies, Apache and Pioneer. I mean, Apache said we're pulling out.
Yeah.
Pioneer said we're pulling out half,
Yes.
and that's here.
That's here.
And that's something that you warned about a year and a half ago. I remember that they were talking about budgeting the sales tax numbers. Now, how much money, how much revenue do you think the city of San Angelo will bring in into 2020, FY 2020? And you said, let's keep that low.
It's planned conservatively.
But you said because of the presidential election. You didn't say because of the coronavirus.
No,
you didn't say anything about the coronavirus. You should have told us about it.
I did not know about the coronavirus, but I did say it's a year where we need to plan very conservatively.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to spend the year cutting back, because I think you sometimes have to make decisions that are not
Right.
the correct decisions, but they're forced decisions. So we plan very conservatively. So far in the first 5 months, we've overachieved the plan, meaning more sales tax revenues come in than the plan. But that also means if the next 6 months are tough, we'll probably even out
So you
the
think
year.
the city budget right now is that the public safety is not covered completely by property tax. Used to be
That's correct.
public safety, that's your fire and your police department, were covered by your property tax.
That's
But now you have to cut into your sales tax.
That's correct.
And so if the sales tax goes down, that puts pressure on you to not hire more
Correct.
police officers, not hire more firefighters, and that that hinders some growth considerations.
That's why we want to always plan conservatively, so we can budget for
Mm-hmm.
those expenses and those needs as a priority,
Right.
and then make the correct decisions from
So your
there.
prediction is the city's going to be okay on the
The
budget.
city's going to be okay. We planned conservatively, we've overachieved it, which means that we have a balance right now to help us over the next few months if the sales tax continue to drop.
Okay. What do you think the sales tax are going to drop? Usually it's been going up 4 to 10% every
Yeah,
month.
this last month it was 3.5%. The month before that about 4.6%.
And that's what we're talking about is the growth year over year from
That's correct.
2019 to 2020.
That's correct.
So what do you think it's going to do now? Going to be negative?
I think that it will be flat,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps, and that's because a lot of people are out there spending money now.
That's true.
We
The
do not.
Toilet paper does have sales
It
tax.
does on it. The state does not. So, and people aren't dining out, people aren't shopping. There are a lot of things, but hopefully it will be a minor, maybe 1% down to flat. But it's hard to tell right now because we don't know how long this is going to last.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if it's going to get to be a bigger issue than it is. We believe all the right decisions are being made from the president's office to the governor's office to the local officials. I believe everyone's doing a terrific job of making the decisions to protect their citizens and to contain this. And if you
Okay.
don't make those tough decisions now, we won't contain it, and it will continue to be a problem. Right now, it's contain it head on.
Right. All right. So about 100 cases so far in Texas, none in San Angelo
That's
that we know of
correct.
right now. And this is the 17th of March. What time is it, Manny?
2:32.
At 2:32 Central on the 17th of March, there are no cases in San
That's
Angelo.
correct, and I was on conference calls, and I belong to the West Texas Mayor's Group, so we've been in a lot.
Well, how's Midland doing?
And well, Midland has not had a case as well. Odessa has not, Lubbock has not, and Amarillo has not had a case.
What about
So
Abilene? Abilene,
I don't believe they've had a case either. And
Okay.
so you look at it right now, we in West Texas seem to be okay. But everyone has pretty much done the same thing that we did. We were ahead of those cities. We did our declaration yesterday. Many of them did it today.
right.
So I feel like we were up and considering the citizens and making the right decisions.
So Monday week, we're going to have, we're going to reassess the emergency
Yes.
declaration. And
That's correct.
so we're just kind of taking this a week at a time.
Yes.
And you're hoping this thing blows over rapidly.
We hope it blows over rapidly, but we will continue to make the right decisions for this city. Whatever they are, I don't know what they're going to be, citizens are most important to us. We don't want to be a city that's on that list.
Right. Manny, anything else? We're good to go? Not one question. They must all be out eating.
I hope they're out and celebrating St. Patrick's
Let's
Day. It
see.
is St. Patrick's
And we're not
Day,
wearing
but I forgot
green.
to wear green
We're
today,
wearing black.
so, yeah,
Don't pinch me.
please.
Is there anything that your restaurant is doing to kind of take precautions with any of this?
We are cleaning and cleaning and re-cleaning and re-scrubbing and re-cleaning. We've touched every surface 2 or 3 times. I don't think we can be careful enough and we're certainly concerned, and I'm concerned for my own employees' health as well as customers. So it's a combination, but we have to take personal responsibility.
Is that it? All right, well, for San Angelo Live and for Mayor Brenda Gunter, I'm Joe Hyde with San Angelo Live. And please tune in next time we do one of these live videos. Are you shut off yet? Can I click?